and welcome back to Hertha Hero with Hertha Berlin on Football Manager 2020 with me, Foggy Plays. Today we're going to look at the awards for Season 6 and the transfers leading up to the first game of Season 7. As you might remember from the last episode, if you saw it, then you will know that we won the Bundesliga, the German Super Cup, and the European Super Cup along with our first Pokal. We did lose out in the Champions League, which is disappointing. Couldn't win it 2 years in a row, but next season. We can always do it next season. So this is the overall best 11 for the last 6 seasons. We have Mike Mannion as the best goalkeeper, who he was fine while he was with us. We did sell him a little bit on the cheap. Bought him for 9.5 million. Sold him for 6 after 3 successful seasons with us. Went to Hoffenheim and they sold him on for a profit to Valencia. Maybe if I do this, we can see how many times they played for us. So Mannion played 92 times. Allig is our current best right back with 99 appearances for the club and 3 goals, which is not bad. Garvidal, 217 appearances and 20 goals. He's played a lot of games for us. Torunariga, 115 games, 12 goals. It's not terrible. He's off at Bayer Leverkusen at the minute. He is. He's now been called up to the Nigeria squad. So he's obviously decided he's never going to get his game at Germany. Although I don't think Germany are bringing players in just yet. He went on loan to Bournemouth last season, or the season before, the one that's just finished, and we sold him to Bayer Leverkusen for 8 million. He had a decent season at Leverkusen, valued at 27.5 million now, which is quite good for him. Luka Netz is the best left back for the last 6 seasons, 138 appearances, 1 goal. Would have thought he would have scored more goals than that. He is also at Bayer Leverkusen. They paid 31 million for him. He played a lot of games and he had a good season, to be fair. He was very much a rotation with Michael for us, so I'd say it's not going to be long till Michael beats him to starting left back. Arne Meyer, 240 appearances, 24 goals, and Szoboszlai, 201 appearances, 31 goals. Our main central midfield, Carlos Mina has 129 appearances, 30 goals. So he has done quite well. Del Rosen, 119 appearances only. He's been gone for a couple of seasons now, so that makes sense. He is at Man City again, having left for AC Milan. He had 2 very good seasons for us, and then 1 season in the middle. It wasn't brilliant. They made a very minimal profit off him. Esposito, 120 games, 96 goals. He's been a monster. Caio George, 162 appearances, 104 goals. Brian Bingham has 89 appearances as our backup goalkeeper. Jorginho. How is Jorginho getting on in China? 96 games, 12 goals. Jorginho. That's a lot of goals for such a few amount of appearances. Played 11 in China. Not scored a goal yet. Interesting. Billy Gilmore. How are you getting on? You're at Norwich? Not Blackburn. Norwich were interested in him but didn't sign him. Never really got many games for us, so I'm surprised he's been selected in our overall best 11. I know he's as a substitute, but still. Playing in the Championship now with Blackburn. 29 is good enough to get him into the bench. Jonathan David is at Borussia Dortmund, as we are aware. 93 times he played for us. Piatek, 158 games, 77 goals. He was never that good, I'd say. He did have that first season, he was amazing. And then he was kind of meh after that. Didn't have a great season with Newcastle. Michael, 77 appearances. So he is still a good bit away from Luka Netz's appearances. And Pietro Pellegrini, 79 games for us. I am surprised he played that many. He's off at Mainz now, where he's been playing very regularly. So that is the overall best 11. We could have looked at that. I forgot that they did the where are they now. The end of season awards. So Esposito wins convincingly, 66% of the votes. It's kind of expected, to be fair. Carlos Mina with 15%, Caio George with 11% are second and third. Alexander Michael scored the goal of the season against Liverpool in April, so it's not too long ago. You didn't see that when I was in the first leg, I think. Johnson Fryer gets signing of the season for 32 million, and young player of the season was Esposito at the age of 22, the tender age of 22. I still think anything over 21 shouldn't be considered young player of the season, but that's not something we're probably ever going to see changed. They're always going to say young players up to 24, even though it's not necessarily factual. This goal, if I remember correctly, was quite a good one. I don't know would I say it's the best goal we scored this year, but let's have a look and see. This is a game where Harvey Elliott was terrible. But that's something I've noticed this year as well is, whereas previously players playing against their old clubs are fantastic and amazing, not so much this year. You can see the two players I wanted Fatty, but when he left for, to be fair, that free kick, that was quite good actually. Yeah, fair. Still, it's a free kick. So, we signed Vinicius Jr. because Fatty went to Liverpool, which made me slightly sad. I was kind of hoping we could get a Fatty at the team, but Vinicius Jr. was acceptable this year. The team of the season: Bingham and goal, Alec and Michael as our wing backs, Garvidal and Fryer as centre backs. Okay, fair enough. Spotify and Arne Meyer, they've just been the stalwart of our midfield for the last 5 years. Mina and Vinicius Jr. as our wide men. To be fair, we didn't really have a left winger the majority of the season. Vinicius Jr. came in, just went straight into the first team. Esposito and Kyle George as the strikers. It's fairly obvious. Esposito, 49 goals for the season, just short of the 50. Had the highest average rating of 7.75. Carlos Mina with 18 assists, and he did spend a lengthy period of time out injured. So imagine how much better it could have been. Bruno Queiroz had 90% pass completion. Most player of the matches for Esposito with 11. Alexander Michael was the boldest of bold boys with 18 yellow cards. Martin Zach got himself sent off twice. So that was less than ideal. It was a good season, to be fair. 84% full stadium. We used 36 players. That means 36 players got medals, which is nice for them, to pick up an old Bundesliga medal. Match of the season was a 2-1 win against Stuttgart. The moment to forget was the 2-0 defeat to Freiburg. That defeat to Freiburg was infuriating. Where are they now? It's best 11 from 2019. Don't really care. Club vision for next season, they wanted to play attacking football, play entertaining attacking high tempo pressing football. Make the most of set pieces. We try to. Yeah. If we don't, we don't. Sign high reputation players. We'll have to have a look at that and see if we actually do. Because considering signing Christian Eriksen, because he's a model citizen, he's on a free, and he would be counted as a high reputation player. So maybe they want us to work within the wage budget, which we've been doing since the day we arrived. Increase commercial revenue. I'm trying, but they're making it very difficult for me to try and get affiliates in foreign countries. They want us to challenge for the Bundesliga title. I want to win the Bundesliga. They want us to reach the semi-final of the Champions League. I want to win the Champions League. And for the rest of the season, they just want us to win the Bundesliga. Continue winning the Bundesliga. I can get behind that. Squad Dynamics update. Everyone is delighted. They love me dearly. Arne Meyer is no longer a team leader. What has happened here? How? Why? What? Why is Arne Meyer no longer a team leader? Our captain and vice captain are highly influential players, but not team leaders. No players hate us, which is fantastic. And there's not many players that have no real feeling about us, which is acceptable, I suppose. End of season injury report. Player that missed the most of the season was Tony Leaning in our second team. He missed 29%. Most injury prone player, Marina and Vorbelski and Arne Meyer had 7 injuries each. Longest spell unavailable, Geiger with a 3-month broken ankle. Fryer was out for 3 months with a hip injury at the start of the season. We're away on holidays until the 7th. And where are we going to go for our training camp? We have Japan again. Do we do Japan? Yeah, we do Japan. Of course we do Japan. Of course we're going to go to Japan. So, we don't have anything set up yet. We do have that Chilean centre back arriving in 2 years, but January 2027. Other than that, we don't have anything going right now. We have 418 million to spend, 614 million in the overall balance. And while people are saying that at Hertha Berlin, if you attempt to buy the stadium or build a new stadium, it causes chaos with the club's finances. I'm seriously considering it. I really, really want to see what happens if we try to build a new stadium or buy the stadium. So that might happen during the summer. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. We have 614 million. If we were to build a new stadium, we would just use the balance. It's fine. We're literally filthy rich. So we will be back in just a second for the transfer roundup before our first league game of the season. We're not going to bother showing the German Cup. I don't know who we're going to be playing because we won the league and the cup. So will it be Borussia Dortmund or will it be Schalke because they finished second in the league? We'll soon find out. Also, Ingolstadt are playing against Hamburg in the playoff. I forgot to mention that. So it's Ingolstadt and Hamburg looking to either stay in the division or get back into the division. And Frankfurt managed to finish 12th this year. Anybody who's been watching the series for a little while will know they have been serial 15th place. Constantly. Cologne had a poor season as well, finishing in 11th. And Stuttgart finishing 8th. They both had European football this year. Probably why they struggled a little bit. Was it Mainz and not Cologne? Mainz had European football. Bayern Munich ended up getting Europa League. God damn it. Leipzig are in the Euro Conference League, having made it to the quarterfinals or the semi-finals of the Champions League last season. So they basically did what we did season 2. Sucks to be them. Right, we will be back in just a second for the transfers just before the first game of the season, and we'll see what we're after doing, who we're after getting rid of, who we're after bringing in. Be interesting to see what happens. Oh, Bobadou got third highest goal scorer of the season. So the top 3 was all our players, or ex-players. Has arrived. It has been quite the summer. We had the Club World Cup. We've done some signings. We've sold some players. Unfortunately, some players I didn't want to sell have left. But you know, it's just how it do be sometimes. As it is right now, we have 3 players coming in the not too distant future, I guess. 2 players coming from Medellin. A goalkeeper, Juan Sanchez, is arriving on the 21st of August, 2026. So just over a year's time, we'll have ourselves a cheeky little goalkeeper who I'm hoping is going to progress a bit more than he already has. Low self-belief. Did not see that. The other Medellin player is a right winger called David Munoz, who is going to be arriving on the 1st of January. Give us a bit of extra depth at right wing. And centre back, you already knew, Leandro Jerez is arriving in January 2027. So we have a little bit longer for him to arrive. On the outs, we have Mohamed Diop is off to Udinese. He wants to go on loan. So I'm not going to stop him. Give him run off to Udinese and see how he gets on. Transfers, though. It has been... we spent 264 million so far. 212 million has gone out. We'll have a look at players that have come in because Dean Henderson, first player on the list, has left for Besiktas. He came in. Part of his contract was that he was going to be given the number 1 jersey. I auto-selected numbers when he arrived, and he got pissy because he didn't get number 1 because that was Bingham's jersey. So he wanted to leave. So he arrived on the 1st, left on the 9th for 3.8 million. Didn't spend a whole lot of time here. We've had a bit issues with players doing that recently. Don't really like it. Then we signed Matthias de Ligt. What can I say? He's an amazing centre back. We paid 100 million for him. I think that was a bargain. We paid 100 million for one of the best centre backs in the world. He's amazing. As you can see, he's already played 2 competitive games this season. He arrived just after the Club World Cup, actually. That's right. So he is the first of our big money signings. Next big money signing, Catrona, 150 million. He has come in and he has been very good. Look at the mentals on this man. His physicals are fantastic. Technicals leave a little bit to desire, but he has been exceptional. He's played 2 games and scored 6 already. We have the Italian strike force playing for us, valued at 109 million. Like I said, 150. It was a lot of money. But we paid Juventus 250 million for 2 of their players. I think we did well. I'm happy, but more or less. Junior Maita came from FC San Pedro in the Ivory Coast. Players do need new faces given to them. But this guy, we played against FC San Pedro in the Club World Cup. He looked quite good, so I was like, why not throw 250k, see what happens. Let's see who gets on. He's on loan at Kaiserslautern because that was part of his agreement, was that we'd send him out on loan and see who gets on. Technically, he's not that great. Mentally, he's and physically he's not terrible. Not very strong. He's terrible balance, but a season out on loan might be the worst thing in the world for him. We shall find out at the end of the season after his loan with Kaiserslautern. We then went and signed Malik Segarel, who was with Leon. This guy, he looks really good. My scouts reckon he's going to be an absolute worldie of a player. I kind of tend to agree. I think he's going to be fantastic. He is an attacking midfielder. Going to be playing as a central midfielder. Been given the number 4. I think that was Diop's number from last year. But fantastic determination, great acceleration, great stamina, great teamwork. This guy, Mazzella, all day long. He can finish as well. He's going to be moving back a little bit. I wouldn't play him as a playmaker with 11 passing and vision. We've definitely got better playmakers than that. But I think Mazzella or maybe a box-to-box would be quite good. We're going to throw him in as we're just going to training him as central midfielder for now. See how he gets on. Then we went and signed Rafael Guerrero because we needed a left back. Plain and simple. We needed a left back. I've given him a 1-year contract. If he plays 10 games, if he plays 10 games, he gets an extension to his contract. 50 grand a week for a backup player, so even an emergency backup player. See how he gets on. Don't expect to see him too often. I certainly don't. We did agree with him in his contract to give him the number 22, and he seemed happy with that. We then went and signed Baramo from Werder Bremen, who is a Mozambique. Mozambique? He is Mozambican. Right or left winger who is going to become a right winger because he is better at finishing than he is at crossing. So he is playing for the under 19s. He's only 15. Valued at 1.4 million. We paid 2.8 million for him. I think this guy's going to be an absolute worldie. So I'm giving a Mozambican a chance in our under 19s. He's going to be in the first team, but he's going to get his chance. He's going to play in the under 19s. He's only 15. Can't play for 2 years with us. We then went and bought 2 players from Steaua Bucharest. Raul Stanciu. Cheeky little striker. Maybe he'll be good. Maybe he won't. We'll find out. 2.8 million. I think they're going to get like 30% of his sell-on fee. We'll see how he gets on. I think I was going to originally loan him out. I think we keep him at the club and see if we can get him to be a homegrown player. We do lack those ever so slightly. So I've been more so considering bringing in players 15 to 18 has been kind of my go-to. In saying that, same day, we brought in Marian Prodescu as a backup goalkeeper, 20 years old. He's fine. It's going to be third choice for the season on a youngster contract. Doesn't expect an awful lot. We've paid 3.5 million for him. If he plays 50 games, it goes up to 10 million. I don't think he's going to play 50 games. And if he has played 50 games, then they deserve the money. So, by all means. He did have a fantastic season last year with the Steaua Bucharest B team, playing 20 games, conceding 7, 15 clean sheets. Didn't see that, but he has been in good form last year. He's going to be playing probably more so for the second team in the Bundesliga 3, and I'm hoping they can get promoted. That would be fantastic if we had our B team playing in the Bundesliga 2. On the outs, we had 3 players go to Kaiserslautern. So, fine. Hulk has gone to Rennes after his disappointing season last year. He started 7 games totals, came off the bench 15 times, scored 3 goals. He is going to be getting first team football at Rennes. I said, why not? See how he gets on playing first team football. He's already been out on loan since he arrived, so he's not going to be homegrown at the club anyway. Might as well just leave him run around in France for a while, see how he gets on. Smirnov came back from his loan at Heidenheim and still wanted to leave, so we sold him 3 million, made a profit of 500,000 when he only played 10 games for us. So that's fine by me. He's getting paid a nice chunk of change and he's only 20 years old. I'm sure he's delighted as well. He gets to go back to Russia after having a less than ideal showing in Germany. Zanino went on loan to Borussia Mönchengladbach partly because I thought he was Borussia Mönchengladbach were in the second division, and he's just not been getting first team football since he arrived. Played 3 games, then went on loan to Dynamo Dresden. Last season played 7. It's not enough for a player who has so much potential. I want to see what he can do if he gets regular first team football at Borussia Mönchengladbach. And then Pena Biafore came back from his loan at Freiburg. I think Freiburg got relegated, if I'm not mistaken. They did not. They stayed up. It was good for them. He wanted to go on loan again. San Lorenzo came in, said, here, we'll pay his wages. Yeah, they're paying 23 grand a week in wages. By all means, take him. See how he gets on. He's only ever played 7 games off the bench for us. I don't think he's going to make it. The Harby originally tried selling him. Nobody wanted to buy him, so he's gone on loan to Fortuna Dusseldorf. Kanachkin has gone on loan to Rennes as well for first team football. This guy has been at the club for 3 seasons and he's played 5 league games. So I said, they came in, said we'll give him first choice goalkeeper. Fine, thank you very much. Angban has gone to St. Pauli because he's just not good enough to play first team football for us. And then Carlos Mina. Liverpool met his release clause, so he left. We also made Medellin quite a sum of cash. Oh, believe me, we made them some money. So we bought this guy for 4 million quid. He was probably our best player for 3 seasons. And then Liverpool went 195 million, and our board went, oh, well, that's his release clause, so of course. And then I found out after we sold him, Medellin had a 50% of the next sell on clause. I didn't realise we were to give them 50%. So Medellin made 98 million from that transfer, which, not ideal, but 195 million. Carlos Mina, you served us well. Thank you very much. 83 games, 20 goals. The man's an absolute monster. Verbelski got gone out on loan to Kaiserslautern this year. Mata, who you might remember came from River Plate, didn't get a whole lot of opportunities. Played twice off the bench. Last season didn't play a single game. Went on loan to Braunschweig. 4.1 million to Boca Juniors. It was nice to have your own, buddy. You were a footballer, probably. We eventually got rid of Kjellgaard, who we brought from Salzburg. That's what it was. I don't think we ever actually played him. No, we never. Well, the first team never played him. Played him in the B team a lot. He was really good for the B team. Sent him out on loan for 3 seasons, and didn't really have any interest in keeping him around. So he's gone back to Austria, and now valued at 1.7 million. He was valued at 3.6. Nobody wanted to pay anything for him. So the fact we got $500,000, I was quite happy. Cazetta, unfortunately, has left. Cazetta has gone to Atletico Mineiro after only making 3 appearances for us and having loans galore. Spent a season at Hanover, one at Armin Bielefeld, and then 4 seasons with Ingolstadt. He's now gone back to Brazil. I think he's German. No, even after that long, he still doesn't have German nationality. Madness. He was here for 5 years in the country, and he gets nothing for it. Then we lost Malik Schmidt, who was a goalkeeper I was looking to bring into the first team this year. Hence why I sent Konachkin out on loan. I thought, bring Schmidt up, he can be third choice. Mainz paid 1.8 million for him, and that was disappointing. He left, and I was slightly sad, but what can you do? He's gone away, and we'll never see him again. Although unless we end up playing against Mainz and he's in their team, then we'll get to see him again. But I'll probably have forgotten that he even exists by then. Ryan Cassidy and Leon Altkar have gone on loan to Bielefeld, trying to sell Altkar. Nobody wants him. His contract runs out in 2 years. I thought it was this year. God damn it, I want to get rid of him. He is going nowhere, it seems. So we've spent 264, sold 212. There is still plenty of interest in players. Lvly has interest from a whole bunch of clubs, but he's not going to be going anywhere. Harvey Elliott is wanted by Hoffenheim. He ain't going nowhere. Pialo, Alonso Pialo is wanted by Mainz, Stuttgart, Villarreal, and Hoffenheim. We set a £37 million asking price for him. There's constant news articles about clubs offering 35 million for him. Nobody's actually made an offer for him, so he's still here. He's scored in our most recent game, which, delightful. It was a delightful game as well. In the last game, Kyo George picked up an injury. He's still wanted by Man City. Nobody's made an offer for him of late, which is I will accept, no problem. And then in terms of our youth players, it is Vinsky is wanted by Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. They've been offering about 3 million for him, with a whole bunch of added extras and whatnot. So they're offering like 500,000, and then there's a whole bunch of, like, if he plays 50 games, if he makes his international appearance, blah blah blah, all these extras they're adding on. So I just keep rejecting them. But then there's Fede Arp, who, as you can see, put a £40 million asking price on for him. Dortmund and Wolfsburg are interested in him. Werder Bremen. Not Werder Bremen. Why did I say Werder Bremen? Bayern Munich have offered, I think 15 million was the highest they offered for him. This guy was a 5-star potential player. I think he's going to be amazing. So I'm keeping him here as long as I physically can. And other than that, nobody else has any interest in them. We're still looking to move on some players. Is there anyone in the first team? There's been interest in Arne Meyer, but nothing's come of it yet. Alpha Juniors had a bit of interest in him. Gentile's had a little bit of interest in him as well. Eduardo Luis has had a couple of offers for loans. I've rejected them. He's getting pissed off very quickly. He wants to go on loan, and I keep rejecting them. He is our backup. He's our main backup central midfielder. So why would I send him on loan, of all people? Marion Brown had a couple of offers, but I rejected them because they weren't that much. As you know, Jupp is probably on his way out on loan to Udinese. And yeah, other than that, not much has happened. The games, though, since you were here last, we did, as I said, play in the Club World Cup. We beat Brazilian Internacional 3-1 in our group. And then the second group game we beat FC San Pedro 5-0. We were playing in India. Our players were dead the entire time. But as you can see, Carlos Mina was still playing at this game. Then we went and played Leipzig. And this was a tough game. Very tough game. We went to penalties and Esposito missed and everyone else scored their penalties. So weirdly though, they were saying that they were delighted we won the Club World Cup. So I'll take it. Chelsea won it all in all. But we then went and won the Super Cup 5-1 quite convincingly. Lvly, Esposito and Catrone scored a hat-trick on his debut. And then we went and won 13-0 against Germania Eggersdorf. Esposito with 4 goals. Catrone scored a hat-trick. De Ligt got 1. Vinicius Jr. scored 1. As I said, Caio George picked up that injury. Piejo and Graciar both came off the bench and both scored. So Caio George went off injured early in that game, if I'm not mistaken. 16th minute. Yeah, so it was early enough. As you can see, we played a pretty much full-strength team. Vicore started because Bingham was just back from the Gold Cup, which America won, beating Mexico in the final. Canada with Michael in at left back lost to Mexico in the semi-finals. So that is everything that you needed to know to get up to date with how things have been going with us at the current time. In the next episode, which will be tomorrow, we will be playing Ingolstadt in the league, team who are expected to finish bottom. Ingolstadt are expected to finish bottom. To be fair, 5 teams are 1,000 to 1 to win the league. We are 2 to 1, and we have 10 of the 11 starting players. So, suppose you could say we're in with a good chance of winning the league this year. Again, for the 4th year in a row. Wait and see. Season 7 is underway. Let's get going. So, thank you very much for watching, fellas. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share with all of your friends. And I'll see you in the next one.